Chrome crowns are slipping in Milwaukee. This morning, Honda, Yamaha, and Kawasaki joined forces in a move designed to crush America's cruiser throne. If you're thinking of buying a Harley, this could be your last chance to save thousands. Or you might be left holding a bike that plummets in value overnight. Today, we're counting down the 5 ways this alliance changes everything for riders like you, and why revelation number 3 has Harley executives in full-blown panic mode. The alliance that nobody saw coming. Picture this. 3 companies that have spent 70 years trying to out-engineer each other suddenly shaking hands behind closed doors in Tokyo. Honda, Yamaha, and Kawasaki, sworn rivals who've battled for every tenth of a horsepower, every mile per gallon, every dollar of market share, just announced they're joining forces in the most unexpected partnership in motorcycle history. But this isn't about friendship or playing nice. This is pure business warfare dressed up in corporate speak about advancing mobility solutions and sustainable transportation futures. What they're really saying is simple. We're tired of letting Harley-Davidson own the premium cruiser market while we fight over sport bike scraps. The announcement came at 6 a.m. Eastern Time, delivered simultaneously across 3 continents. Honda's president spoke first, his words carefully chosen. The future of motorcycling demands unprecedented collaboration. Yamaha's CEO followed with surgical precision. Traditional boundaries no longer serve the rider. Then Kawasaki's chairman delivered the knockout punch. Heritage alone cannot compete with innovation. Those weren't just press conference sound bites, they were declarations of intent. Each company brings something deadly to this alliance. Honda delivers reliability that makes Swiss watches look unreliable. Yamaha contributes acoustic engineering that turns exhaust notes into symphonies. Kawasaki adds raw performance DNA that makes power delivery an art form. Now imagine those 3 strengths combined, focused laser sharp on the one market segment where American motorcycles still claim superiority. Big displacement cruisers that rumble with authority and turn heads at every red light. For decades, Harley has owned this space not through superior engineering, but through emotional connection and brand mystique. That emotional moat just got a whole lot shallower. When the Japanese decide to target your market, they don't just compete, they systematically dismantle every advantage you thought you had. Ask the British motorcycle industry how that strategy worked out in the 1970s. But here's what makes this alliance truly dangerous for Harley. Timing. Electric vehicle mandates are reshaping transportation. Younger riders prioritize performance and value over heritage. And baby boomers, Harley's core customer base, are aging out of the market faster than Milwaukee can adapt. The Japanese see opportunity in chaos, and they've just pooled their resources to exploit it. This isn't just another product announcement, it's a coordinated assault on American motorcycle supremacy that's been 70 years in the making. The shared technology. Goldmine. Think about the last time you walked through a motorcycle showroom and noticed the same basic problems across different brands. Expensive maintenance, limited range on touring bikes, electric options that look like science experiments instead of real motorcycles. Sound familiar? The Japanese Big 3 just announced they're solving all of these problems simultaneously through shared technology development. Here's where this gets interesting for you as a rider. When 3 engineering powerhouses combine their R&D budgets, they can tackle problems that would bankrupt smaller manufacturers. We're talking about a shared technology pool worth over $8 billion annually, more than Harley's entire market capitalization. First, they're standardizing charging infrastructure for electric motorcycles. No more wondering if your bike can plug into available charging stations. No more carrying 3 different adapters for a cross-country electric tour. One universal standard backed by the combined weight of Honda's manufacturing scale, Yamaha's distribution network, and Kawasaki's performance engineering. But electric is just the beginning. They're sharing battery technology that promises 400-mile ranges on highway cruising, double what current electric motorcycles deliver. They're pooling acoustic engineering to make electric bikes that sound like the motorcycles you actually want to ride, not like oversized hairdryers with wheels. Then there's the maintenance revolution they're quietly developing. Shared parts across brands means your Honda dealer can service basic components on a Yamaha. Common diagnostic systems mean mechanics don't need 3 different computer systems to troubleshoot problems. Standardized service intervals mean you know exactly when maintenance is due, regardless of which badge is on the tank. This shared approach extends to manufacturing too. Imagine walking into a dealership and finding a cruiser that combines Honda's legendary reliability with Yamaha's exhaust note engineering and Kawasaki's performance tuning. Same basic platform, 3 different personalities, all built to the same exacting standards that made Japanese motorcycles the gold standard for dependability. For Harley, this represents an existential threat they've never faced. They've always competed against individual manufacturers with limited R&D budgets and regional market focus. Now they're facing a coordinated alliance with unlimited resources and global reach, specifically targeting the premium cruiser segment that generates most of Harley's profits. The Japanese aren't just building better motorcycles, they're building a better ecosystem around motorcycles. Service, parts availability, technology integration, dealer support, financing options. Everything that makes motorcycle ownership either a joy or a headache is being redesigned from the ground up. And here's the killer detail they buried in the technical specifications. This alliance gives them combined manufacturing capacity to produce over 2 million motorcycles annually across all segments. That's more bikes than Harley has built in their entire 120-year history, and they can do it every single year while maintaining quality standards that put American manufacturing to shame. The Harley-killer models nobody's talking about. While motorcycle journalists focus on electric partnerships and shared technology, they're missing the real story buried in the alliance documents. 3 specific motorcycle models designed to directly attack Harley's most profitable segments. These aren't concept bikes or future possibilities. These are production-ready machines hitting dealerships within 18 months. Model number 1, a 1,200cc liquid-cooled V-twin that sounds like thunder rolling through mountains but delivers 65 miles per gallon in real-world riding. Honda's fuel injection precision meets Yamaha's exhaust tuning expertise wrapped in Kawasaki's aggressive styling language. The result? A bike that looks like it belongs in Sons of Anarchy but runs like a Swiss chronometer. Here's what makes this machine dangerous for Harley. It delivers authentic cruiser attitude without the traditional reliability compromises. No more oil leaks marking your parking spot. No more scheduling weekend rides around service appointments. No more explaining to your spouse why the motorcycle needs another $1,000 repair after only 15,000 miles. Model number 2 takes direct aim at Harley's touring segment with a 1,400cc platform that redefines what long-distance comfort means. Think heated and cooled seats that adjust automatically based on weather conditions. Navigation systems that integrate seamlessly with your smartphone without requiring a computer science degree to operate. Audio systems tuned by the same engineers who designed Yamaha's concert hall acoustics. But the genius lies in the details they're not advertising yet. This touring platform shares 60% of its components with Honda's Goldwing, Yamaha's Star Venture, and Kawasaki's Vulcan lines. That means parts availability everywhere, service expertise at any authorized dealer, and maintenance costs that won't require a second mortgage. The third model is the real Harley-killer, a retro-styled machine that looks like it rolled out of 1969 but performs like it's from 2029. Air-cooled visual design hiding liquid-cooled performance. Chrome and leather aesthetics wrapped around modern electronics and fuel efficiency. The emotional appeal of heritage combined with the practical benefits of contemporary engineering. This bike specifically targets the demographic that keeps Harley profitable, riders who want the look and feel of classic American motorcycles without the headaches that come with actual vintage engineering. It's nostalgia without compromise, and it's priced $15,000 below comparable Harley models. Each of these machines leverages the Alliance's combined strengths in ways that individual manufacturers could never achieve. Honda contributes bulletproof reliability and fuel economy. Yamaha adds acoustic perfection and touring comfort. Kawasaki brings performance edge and aggressive styling. Together, they're creating motorcycles that offer everything riders love about Harley-Davidson while eliminating everything they tolerate. For American motorcycle buyers, this represents the first real alternative to Milwaukee's premium pricing and reliability compromises in over 3 decades. For Harley-Davidson shareholders, it represents the nightmare scenario they feared since Japanese manufacturers first started eyeing the cruiser market seriously. The Alliance isn't just building better motorcycles, they're building better motorcycles specifically designed to make Harley ownership look like an expensive mistake. The dealer network disruption. Walk into most motorcycle dealerships today and you'll see the same frustrating pattern. Limited inventory, high-pressure sales tactics, and service departments booked 6 weeks out for basic maintenance. The Japanese Alliance just announced they're obliterating this entire system with a dealer network strategy that puts customer experience first and profit margins second. Here's what they're rolling out that changes everything. Shared inventory systems that let any authorized dealer access parts and accessories from all 3 manufacturers. Need a specific component for your Kawasaki? Your Honda dealer can order it and have it installed the same day. Yamaha running a promotion on touring accessories? Every Alliance dealer can honor those prices regardless of which bike you ride. But inventory sharing is just the beginning of this dealer revolution. They're implementing standardized service training across all 3 brands, creating mechanics who can diagnose and repair any Alliance motorcycle without manufacturer-specific tools or computer systems. This means faster service, lower costs, and no more getting bounced between dealerships because we don't service that brand. The real disruption comes in their pricing strategy. Traditional motorcycle dealerships operate on high-margin, low-volume models that squeeze maximum profit from every transaction. The Alliance is flipping this completely. Higher inventory turnover, transparent pricing, and service costs that compete with independent shops instead of gouging captive customers. They're rolling out what they call transparent total cost of ownership across all Alliance dealerships. Before you buy any motorcycle, you'll see exact maintenance costs for the first 5 years, parts pricing for common wear items, and realistic depreciation projections based on actual market data. No more discovering that your affordable motorcycle requires $1,000 services every 5,000 miles. For touring riders, they're creating Alliance service centers every 200 miles along major motorcycle routes. Breakdown in the middle of nowhere? The nearest Alliance dealer, whether Honda, Yamaha, or Kawasaki, can get you back on the road with genuine parts and factory-trained service. Try getting that kind of support on a cross-country Harley tour. The dealer financing is where this gets really interesting. Instead of pushing high-interest loans through captive finance companies, the Alliance is offering manufacturer-backed financing at rates that compete with credit unions and banks. They're treating motorcycle purchases like car purchases, transparent pricing, competitive financing, and no-haggle transactions that respect your time and intelligence. This dealer network strategy specifically targets Harley's weakest points: limited service availability, expensive maintenance, and predatory financing practices that turn motorcycle ownership into a financial burden instead of a recreational pleasure. When you can walk into any Alliance dealer and get honest pricing, competent service, and financing that doesn't require surrendering your firstborn child, the traditional dealership model looks increasingly obsolete. For riders, this means the end of being held hostage by local dealer monopolies. Competition drives innovation, and the Alliance is creating genuine competition in markets where Harley has operated like a protected monopoly for decades. The Alliance isn't just selling motorcycles, they're selling a complete ownership experience designed to make every interaction with dealers, service departments, and financing companies as painless as possible. That's a revolutionary concept in an industry built on extracting maximum profit from captive customers. The electric revolution that Harley can't match. Harley-Davidson's Livewire electric motorcycle costs $30,000, sounds like a dentist's drill, and has the touring range of a city commuter bike. The Japanese Alliance just announced electric motorcycles that solve every single problem with Harley's electric strategy while costing half as much and delivering twice the performance. Here's what the Alliance electric platform delivers that LiveWire can't. 400-mile highway range through shared battery technology developed across 3 R&D departments. Fast charging that gets you from 10% to 80% capacity in 12 minutes using standardized charging infrastructure. And, this is the breakthrough that changes everything, electric motorcycles that sound like the bikes you actually want to ride. Yamaha's acoustic engineers have cracked the code on electric motorcycle sound design. These bikes don't sound like electric appliances trying to mimic internal combustion engines. They sound like the future of motorcycling, a deep, resonant note that's distinctly motorcycle without being a pale imitation of traditional exhaust systems. The performance numbers are staggering. Instant torque delivery that makes traditional cruisers feel like they're moving through molasses. 0 to 60 acceleration that embarrasses superbikes costing 3 times as much, and power delivery that's completely customizable through smartphone integration. Touring mode for cross-country comfort, sport mode for canyon carving, and economy mode for maximum range. But here's where the Alliance strategy gets truly brilliant. Backwards compatibility with gas-powered infrastructure. These electric motorcycles can use existing motorcycle parking, existing service bays, and existing dealer facilities without requiring millions in infrastructure investment. Unlike Harley's electric strategy that demands completely separate dealer facilities and specialized service training. The charging network they're building leverages each manufacturer's existing dealer network, plus partnerships with major truck stops, hotels, and tourist destinations along popular motorcycle routes. You'll never be more than 100 miles from Alliance charging infrastructure, and every charging station accepts the same universal connector regardless of which Alliance brand you ride. Range anxiety. The fear of running out of power far from charging simply disappears when you have 400-mile capability and ubiquitous charging infrastructure. These aren't city commuter bikes pretending to be touring machines. These are legitimate long-distance motorcycles that happen to run on electrons instead of gasoline. The maintenance revolution is equally impressive. Electric motorcycles have about 12 moving parts compared to thousands in traditional engines. No oil changes, no valve adjustments, no timing belt replacements, no carburetor cleanings. Maintenance becomes tire replacement, brake service, and occasional software updates that happen automatically through cellular connectivity. For Harley, this represents an insurmountable technological gap. Building competitive electric motorcycles requires expertise in battery management, electric motor design, charging infrastructure, and software integration. These are precisely the areas where Japanese manufacturers excel and American manufacturers struggle. The Alliance electric strategy isn't just about building better electric motorcycles, it's about making electric motorcycles so superior to traditional gas-powered bikes that continuing to buy internal combustion engines starts looking like clinging to outdated technology. When electric motorcycles offer better performance, lower operating costs, and superior reliability, the emotional appeal of traditional exhaust notes and mechanical complexity becomes increasingly irrelevant. Harley's electric future depends on LiveWire's success, but LiveWire competes against Alliance electric motorcycles that cost less, perform better, and integrate seamlessly into existing motorcycle infrastructure. That's not competition. That's technological obsolescence wrapped in heritage marketing. The demographic time bomb. Harley can't diffuse. Harley-Davidson's average customer is 58 years old and getting older every year. Meanwhile, the Japanese Alliance just announced marketing strategies specifically designed to capture the 25 to 45 demographic that represents the future of motorcycle sales. This isn't just about building different bikes, it's about understanding what younger riders actually want versus what motorcycle marketers think they want. Millennials and Gen Z riders prioritize value, reliability, and technology integration over brand heritage and mechanical authenticity. They want motorcycles that connect seamlessly with their smartphones, deliver predictable operating costs, and don't require weekend projects to keep running properly. These are exactly the strengths that Japanese manufacturers have perfected over decades of car and motorcycle development. The Alliance marketing strategy focuses on lifestyle integration instead of rebel mythology. Their advertising shows motorcycles as practical transportation that happens to be exciting, not as symbols of rebellion against societal norms. Young riders relate to efficiency, adventure, and technology, not to leather-clad outlaws rejecting mainstream values. Consider the financing preferences of younger buyers. They prefer leasing, subscription models, and usage-based pricing over traditional ownership structures. The Alliance offers all of these options while Harley continues pushing high-interest loans for full ownership of depreciating assets. When you can lease a reliable Japanese motorcycle for less than most people spend on coffee, buying an expensive Harley starts looking financially irresponsible. Social media integration represents another generational divide that favors Japanese manufacturers. Alliance motorcycles come with built-in connectivity for Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube content creation. Younger riders want to document and share their experiences, not participate in secretive subcultures that discourage outside engagement. The Alliance understands that motorcycle ownership for younger demographics needs to fit into complex urban lifestyles. Parking in crowded cities, commuting through traffic, navigating insurance costs, dealing with maintenance. These practical considerations matter more than exhaust note, authenticity, or mechanical heritage. Environmental consciousness also divides generations in ways that favor electric and high-efficiency motorcycles over traditional big-displacement cruisers. Younger riders don't want to be seen as environmental villains burning fossil fuels for recreational purposes. Electric and hybrid motorcycles let them enjoy motorcycling while maintaining environmental credibility. The cultural shift away from car ownership particularly benefits motorcycles that offer practical transportation benefits. Alliance motorcycles deliver excellent fuel economy, easy parking, and low operating costs. Perfect for urban professionals who need efficient transportation but want something more engaging than public transit or ride-sharing. Harley's marketing continues targeting baby boomers with nostalgia-based messaging about freedom, rebellion, and authentic American craftsmanship. This strategy works for existing customers but completely misses younger demographics who view these appeals as irrelevant or even off-putting. The demographic mathematics are brutal. Harley's core customer base is aging out of motorcycling faster than younger riders are adopting the brand. Meanwhile, Alliance manufacturers are systematically addressing every barrier that prevents younger demographics from choosing motorcycles as their preferred transportation. This isn't just a marketing problem that Harley can solve with different advertising. This is a fundamental disconnect between what Harley offers and what younger riders actually want from motorcycle ownership. The Alliance motorcycles align perfectly with younger demographic preferences, while Harley motorcycles remain optimized for customer preferences from previous generations. When demographic trends favor your competition and work against your core market position, you're not facing a temporary sales challenge. You're facing long-term market irrelevance. What this means for you as a rider. So here's the bottom line that every motorcycle buyer needs to understand. The alliance between Honda, Yamaha, and Kawasaki fundamentally changes the economics of motorcycle ownership in ways that make traditional premium brands look increasingly obsolete. If you're shopping for a motorcycle in the next 2 years, this alliance gives you options that simply didn't exist before. Reliable performance at reasonable prices, service availability wherever you ride, electric options that actually work for real-world touring, financing that treats you like an intelligent consumer instead of a profit extraction opportunity. For current Harley owners, pay attention to resale values over the next 24 months. When buyers have access to motorcycles that deliver 90% of Harley's emotional appeal at 60% of Harley's purchase price with none of Harley's reliability concerns, the premium pricing that Milwaukee commands starts looking harder to justify. The Alliance announcement isn't just about 3 companies working together, it's about the fundamental restructuring of motorcycle manufacturing around customer needs instead of manufacturer convenience. Better bikes, better service, better value, better ownership experience. This collaboration represents the biggest shift in motorcycle manufacturing since the Japanese invasion of the 1970s that devastated British motorcycle companies. History doesn't repeat, but it definitely rhymes, and right now it's rhyming with the sound of three Japanese giants sharpening their swords for battle. The question isn't whether this alliance will succeed. The question is how quickly traditional manufacturers can adapt to competition that's better funded, better organized, and better aligned with where the motorcycle market is heading. For riders, this means the next few years will offer the best selection of high-quality, reasonably priced motorcycles in the history of the industry. Competition benefits customers, and this level of coordination among major manufacturers creates competition on steroids. The alliance announcement isn't just industry news, it's a preview of the future of motorcycling, and that future looks a lot more exciting, affordable, and practical than what we've been offered for decades. If you found this breakdown valuable, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I'll be following this story as it develops and covering exactly how these changes affect real-world motorcycle buying decisions. The motorcycle industry just got a whole lot more interesting, and we're going to cover every development that matters to riders like you. Next week, we're diving deep into the specific models each manufacturer is rumored to be developing and how they stack up against current offerings from Harley, Indian, and the European manufacturers who are probably having their own emergency strategy meetings right about now. Thanks for watching, ride safe, and remember, in a rapidly changing industry, the best defense against making expensive mistakes is staying informed about what's really happening behind the corporate press releases and marketing spin.